Hello YouTube, this is a February 2019, almost March, deck profile of Tellarknights with Card of Demise. So this is a Card of Demise variant. I took a lot of the monsters out of the main deck and I added in a bunch more spells and traps. So I took out the Ash, the couple Ash and the couple Veilers that I had, and even a few more monsters. Edited the extra deck a little bit, so it's slightly different, but primarily the main deck is the focus of this video. So to start off, we have triple Yugioh. This is the star in the Card of Demise build, because even with Deneb being such a great searcher and Altair being a great kind of starter and extender to get your board a little bit bigger, Yugioh doesn't special summon or add anything to your hand, so it doesn't really conflict with Card of Demise's effect at all. So Yugioh is definitely good. So 3 Altair. Yes, it does special summon, but not all the time will you be using its effect on the same turn that you activate Card of Demise, because a lot of times you can draw Call of the Haunted or Oasis or Monster Reborn off of that Card of Demise, set those cards, and then special Altair the next turn. And we got double Deneb, not 3 Denebs, because like I said, a lot of times that search is going to be a discard anyway. Yes, you will be getting it into the graveyard, so I do run 2. At the end of the turn, when you discard after Card of Demise, that card that you search with Deneb will be going to the grave. But you can't, I mean, if you're normaling the Deneb, you can't normal summon again, and obviously no special summons if you use Card of Demise. So 2 Deneb, and then no Vega. Didn't run any Vega because it's kind of a dead card if you can't special summon, and it doesn't really have any effect besides that special summon that you can take advantage of. Like a Yugioh will at least get you some kind of action, some kind of play, and Vega with Card of Demise really doesn't work. So I took out Vega, and I'm still running the 1 Alsam. So that's the monster lineup. I believe this is 9 monsters here. So very low monster engine in a Card of Demise build, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure people will agree that that is optimal if you're running Card of Demise. So here are the Demises, 1, 2, 3. Definitely want to be running lots of spells and traps that you can set, and Card of Demise is just a great card because you're plussing so hard off of it. I mean, you have only card in your hand is Card of Demise. You draw 3 cards. It's pretty much a casual +2, like such an advantage gainer. Card of Demise can be annoying because you can't special summon, but I believe it is worth the trade. It's definitely a strategy to not use Card of Demise like my previous build, but using all those spells and traps that you can set off of Card of Demise will give you like a huge advantage in the next turn, because you can disrupt so much of your opponent's play. So to supplement the Card of Demise, I have triple Duality, same as the previous build here. Just another draw spell, also doesn't let you special summon. But like I have been saying, it's really not too big of a deal with such a low monster engine. And then we got 2 Desires, not 3, but I definitely, I've said this before, and I will say it again, I don't necessarily like triple Desires. I had 3 in my previous build, but I was thinking with Demise, with Duality, and with also this 1 Upstart, there's so many draw spells here that you don't really need additional Desires, and this is really the core of the deck right here. I mean, the monsters obviously are very important, but these 9 cards are really what you want to be seeing, so you can actually cycle through the deck and get whatever cards you need. So it really makes the movement like actually possible, these cards. So to keep going, we have double Twin Twisters. I had 1 in my previous build, but I'm maining 2 here in this video because I do feel like back row it's even if they're not running like actual spell and trap zone spells and traps, and they're just running a field spell. Like I was playing zombies the other day, and they do run that field spell, not much back row besides that, but at least you can pop that with Twin Twisters. And yes, you could just, MST would probably be better in that situation because there's no discard, but I mean, you never know. So even if they're just running field spells, Twin Twisters is still helpful. And then 1 Rhoda, pretty obvious call right here. 1 Skybridge, Not two, I had two in my previous build, but with all the special summoning conflictions and restrictions like conflicts, I guess, not confliction, like with Pot of Duality and Demise, Skybridge is probably solid at 1. Can't use it every turn. Then we got a Monster Reborn, a lot of LOB cards coming up. Monster Reborn, Raigeki, and Dark Hole. I was thinking, I mean, Monster Reborn is probably obvious. I mean, so much summoning effect going on that you want that extra summon. But Raigeki and Dark Hole, because this is a deck with Card of Demise that can run pretty much any spell and trap you want, you want to be seeing these generic spells and also traps, but spells that that can just do solid work on their own. I mean, if you have a hand full of generic spells and traps that will just do really killer effects, which is single basic, you know, like one line of text kind of effects that just do devastating damage, just a Dark Hole or a Raigeki will really do so much work. So I thought I'd include as many kind of staples as I could in this build. And then for the traps, start off with the obvious Call of the Haunted, but I also have 2 Oasis, which is kind of the additional Call of the Haunted here, so I'm pretty much running 5 Call of the Haunteds. It's the continuous trap that you, yes, obviously can set with Card of Demise, but also bounce with Trigger. So just more cards to get your summon effects going. And then I changed it up a little bit here with a Mirror Force and a Storming Mirror Force. I do have a lot of counter traps in this deck, so those are some kind of disruption when it comes to your opponent's plays. But I thought I'd include something like Bottomless Trap Hole. I was thinking about Mind Crush, kind of to replace the Ash. But I went with the Mirror Force and the Storming Mirror Force because I feel like battle traps are really taking advantage of the element of surprise that Yu-Gi-Oh! Does factor in when it comes to random matchups when you're playing with people that you don't know. You don't know what they're going to be running. They could run any cards out of like 10,000. So Mirror Force, they think that it's been power crept, but it actually still does solid work. And Storming Mirror Force is kind of a better version of that, I would say. I have the Mirror Force in here just as a backup, but Storming Mirror Force, I would say, is superior in most cases. And then the rest of the deck is the same as the previous video. Lots of counter traps, 3 Nova Alphas, 3 Strikes, Warning, and Judgment. Just the cards that will kind of stop in their tracks all of the critical plays and summons and effects that your opponent will have to cry about when they can't pull them off. And the extra deck is very similar to the previous video, so I'll just speed through it. Triple Trigger, bounces the field. Double Bat Lamias, 2-card Trigger, 2-card Deltaros. 1 Deltaros pops card on the field, and then the Constellar Diamond. You're playing Lights Warrens. This will stop Lights Warrens. I mean, anything with Deck to Grave. Then we got the Dweller, or Dark Effects here too. Dweller just stops graveyard effects. Castel shuffles into the deck. Bujinte Tsukiyomi draws you +1. Hopefully that is a Card of Demise that you draw, so that would be actually an ideal situation. So we got an Honor Arc, and then the last XZs is actually new, Baguska, because sometimes there are times when I do have Boar Load on the field, and if I have Boar Load and a Baguska in defense mode, it actually does a decent job. It can negate everything. It obviously doesn't negate the Boar Load because it's in attack mode, can't be in defense mode. So I got the Baguska in here, and the links are exactly the same, except no we sold. So we got Hip Potion again, and Lan, and Boar Load. Took out Isolde for Baguska because I thought that that combo with Boar Load is actually slightly more useful, and I never found myself using Isolde without the equip spells. I didn't feel like that strategy was actually worthwhile. So that's the deck. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed Card of Demise. I'll just show the Card of Demise because I'm so happy to have them. 1, 2, 3. And I'll just end the video like that.